Green in Detroit as Mark Royce, the president of GM, waves the green. We're away, and they fly down towards turn 3. This is a tricky corner. Herta's got the inside. That's the preferential line. Oh, and Will Power gets tagged.
By who? Santino Ferrucci, and it leads to a 4-car stack-up. Pato Award, Alexander Rossi, Linus Lundqvist, along with the 2 Dale Coyne cars of Vautier and Harvey. Cautions out.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cars.
Rossi's had a lot of experience with reverse so far this weekend. He's got it going. So does Pato Award. Ferrucci's around.
Reverse.
So Will Power got an early launch, but was unable to flick his car around. There's going to be rear wing damage, so he has to come to pit lane anyways. But now he sits stalled, desperately hoping he can get refired here by the safety team before he goes a lap down.
And Herta's on the gas.
He's on a jump right now is Colton Herta, and I think that played out really well for him, Div. He's got 5 car lengths as they come down that straight.
And watch Joseph Newgarden, the 2-time Indy 500 champion, that red car, because he has got Kyle Kirkwood coming up the inside, heading to turn 3. They're all defending. Kirkwood goes to the outside, has to try and change lanes. There's contact there. Newgarden goes long. Kirkwood's on the inside.
Kirkwood's going to get Newgarden there. He's going to push him wide. He'll have the line into turn 4. Scott Dixon now defending in the blue and orange car behind Newgarden, but it's still Colton out front.
Here comes Christian Lundgaard on the outside in the Hy-Vee Honda. Can't do it there. That's too tough. He knows he's got a fast car. He's ready to race.
He also clipped the right rear tire of Scott Dixon's car in front of him with the left front corner of his wing. That can sometimes cause punctures, and a big lunge down into turn 8 from Lundgaard. Makes it work.
Wow. He is fired up from qualifying yesterday. He felt he had a car that should have been on the front row of this grid. There was a little refueling hiccup in qualifying, and it kind of stopped him in his tracks. So he said, I am fired up today, and I'm ready to go to the front.
Look at the left-hand side in the pylon graphic there as you see the tire compounds. Alex Palou on the softer alternate Firestone, Colton Herta on the harder tire. Again, big advantage now that Colton has tire temperature, because that is the vulnerability on the opening lap. Palou had the advantage, but Herta has been so quick as they go side by side. That's the black and green car of Augie Canapino making moves on Ericsson.
And you talk about Canapino, he's up 7 positions from his starting spot.
Bit of contact there. Alex Rossi, Rinus VeeKay in front in the green and black machine. Well, let's take another look at that bold pass from Lundgaard. He's on those softer alternates, like you said, down into turn 8, the most tricky corner on the track. First lap trying to maximize, because he knows once Dixon gets heat in those primaries, it's going to be much harder to pull off this kind of move.
On board here is Lundgaard goes up the inside there. That was fierce, and something that Scott Dixon will not forget the rest of this race.
We would never expect a pass like that there. That was bold, and it was good heads up from Scott Dixon too. He saw it coming. Lundgaard kind of telegraphed it a bit, and they were successful at getting through. So out onto the back straight again. Herta, Palou, McLaughlin, Kirkwood, then Lundgaard. Here's the fight at the front.
Push to pass is now available, so Alex Palou has already burned 3 of the 150 seconds that give you about another 50 horsepower, and that really pays off down the long straightaway.
This is such a crucial phase here. There's been a lot of debate up and down pit lane. Which tire is going to be the preferred tire? Colton on the black sidewalled primary tires, Palou behind on the green sidewalled alternate tires. They're a little softer, maybe a little better over a lap, but can they last over a stint?
That's the thing. Once we get to about lap 25, how much of the alternate's going to fall off? We just don't know, and candidly, nobody on pit lane knows. They had a warm-up this morning, 30 minutes, but the track temp was so cold, Marty, that it's really hard to get a read on what the tires will do.
It's what's happening to the defending race winner. Alex Palou, in the space of a commercial break, has gone from being on Colton Herta's gearbox to just flailing and dropping to 7th place in this race. Let's check in with Dylan Welsh.
And Scott McLaughlin passed him for 2nd, which started this freight train backwards for Palou. This was McLaughlin's radio as he set up that pass on the 10.
Palou's already draining in the rear. Copy that. Is on use.
And that's a great point. They started used alternates. This is exactly what the 3 planned. They started blacks. They wanted to watch what Palou did on the greens. It's falling right into the favor for the 3, Kevin.
And it was a bold strategy. Alex Palou was the only one to start on used alternates, the softer tire, and there was concern how long it would last. Just about 45 seconds ago, he said the rears are gone. Then the call was pit this lap. Palou is coming in.
That's a disaster.
Totally.
Because not only does he have to come in way outside the window, those were scuffed alternate tires. The rules require that brand new alternates have to be used in the races. He dives into the pit, so he's got to run another set.
He's asking the team, are you sure that it's time to bring the DHL Honda to pit road? They say, yeah, Kevin Lee's there.
And if you caught the beginning of that, Barry Wanzer said, we're going to use the sticker greens to get him out of the way. So he thinks this is now a primary race. Differing opinions up and down the pit lane. So these are the alternate green 5-well Firestones. And Palou is back out, but now some work to do.
Box this time, box.
So with Christian Lundgaard, he made it 15 laps as there's a big pack up with Kiffin Simpson and Helio Castro Neves.
I think that might be turn 5.
Turn 5. Oh, Marty.
And Lundgaard got in just in time, Marty.
I was going to ask you, Hinch, did he make it in time? That's the question. They told him to come. Anyway, you see those primaries going on for Christian Lundgaard, who was a 1.5 seconds slower on those alternate tires.
Pit stops under caution. Alex Palou, who had his alternates go away very quickly. This yellow helps. Now he is going to be done with the greens, the softer sidewalls, and he can go primary Firestones the rest of the way, all the way to pit out. Also, we see Felix Rosenqvist, who needed to stop. He is the first of these to win the race on pit road, followed by Santino Ferrucci, and then Palou barely gets out ahead of Linus Lundqvist.
Yeah, beats his teammate out. That's how narrow and tight it is. The reason why we're under a second full course caution here in Detroit. Watch closely. It involves 3 cars, Santino Ferrucci, Helio Castro Neves, and then the rookie Kiffin Simpson at the back in the blue and yellow car has nowhere to go. Watch this. Boom.
14 bull charges the back of the 66 there.
You see that left front lock. He's trying to get back all the way. Sorry, right front lock, trying to get back to the driver's right. Helio sort of driving mid-track in a defensive position, but not doing anything outside the rules. And
that's likely to get reviewed.
I could see an avoidable contact penalty coming for the 14.
The green flag waves here on the back straight. Exiting turn 2, let's go. Track is clean and clear, and Herta leads them, and watch that car in 3rd place. Watch Kyle Kirkwood working on Scotty Mack, pops out of the draft.
This is the phase where those alternates are going to have the advantage over the primary. Kirkwood's got a strike now if he wants to make a move. Dixon side by side with Pourchaire, gets checked up by Newgarden. Had to take evasive action mid-corner. Everybody getting through cleanly.
No great surprise, stop and go penalty for the driver of the 14, Santino Ferrucci, for the contact with Helio Castro Neves right here.
Yeah, Ferrucci will know that that's coming. You can hear it in his voice on the radio. Just got caught out, surprised, but he'll pay the price as Herta leads, in that advantage that Kirkwood might have had on the opening lap, I think is quickly going to dissipate as Pietro Fittipaldi with a nice run there. He's side by side with Rinus VeeKay in the green and black Ed Carpenter racing car. There's Ferrucci.
Back to it, here's a move. Rinus VeeKay on the inside of the 5-Hour Energy Honda. Pietro Fittipaldi, nicely done at turn 1.
Left thumb goes down to push to pass.
See the green flashing lights on either side of the dash. Both of these drivers on the button. This is teammate on teammate. RLL's Fittipaldi in front, Ray Hall on board.
This is what happened.
Contact here between teammates.
Oh,
Fittipaldi checks up. Searam's right front wing is certainly damaged a little bit.
and this is Will Power nearly or actually getting in to the right rear of Alex Palou. Doesn't seem to have done any damage, but just shows you how tight and how close the racing is in some of these sections.
So none of the top 14 cars have stopped. You've got to wait until you get to Christian Lundgaard in that Hy-Vee Honda. The first two has pitted so far in this Chevrolet Detroit Grand Prix, and we are almost at quarter race distance. What happened to Scotty Mack?
Sounds like a little bit of rear lock in there, Townsend, on the way in.
Started with left front lock. And then the back came around, Marty, as everybody comes to pit lane in this very valuable window at about the right time.
First caution stops here on the split pit road at Detroit. Colton Herta had zero complaints about his car. He actually went with primary tires here on this stop for Colton Herta. Joseph Newgarden is up front as well. He's going to alternates, Dylan.
Kyle Kirkwood came in. They got off of the green tires. He actually said it felt like we were getting better even with the tire deg on those greens at the end. They're done with those if they want it. Primaries here for Kirkwood.
All right, now we've got a split group. Those who pitted and those who did not.
Look at that on Joseph Newgarden's onboard camera. I mean, it's starting to rain legitimately now here. And you're right, maybe everyone has to go to rain tires here.
Game on.
But the radar does not show big blobs coming. I mean, if you look at even over in Livonia to the west, there's just nothing there flowing in. But you saw Newgarden almost throw the car away outright, just trying to find some temperature.
It always seems whoever gets to the wets first is able to make the take the best advantage. You see Pato O'Ward on pit road. Joseph Newgarden, maybe that fueling issue has played to their favor. Colton Herta stayed out, however, and he just said on the radio, do we not have someone watching the radar in the truck that can advise us something like this is coming? But Rob Edwards made the point, Hitch, that you just made. He said this is not on the radar. That's why we did not know this was coming.
That's just it. Weather is an imperfect science, and obviously the teams are looking, they're keeping eyes out for this.
It's not hard enough for rain, so that's from the truck.
It is not hard enough for rain, so they're going to gamble, but this restart is going to be uber sketch.
You guys got to decide, but I can barely go through the hairpin.
Colton Herta saying, I can barely go through the hairpin. Look at him light it up down the hill. My goodness.
Oh, this is going to be a disaster.
Yeah, we see you. You need to come. Pit this time.
Oh, no.
So
this is terrible news for Colton Herta. They had things firmly under control. There was no sign of this on the radar, and now they'll come in and go to wets. And James, if this disappears in terms of weather, they'll have to come right back to pit lane. They'll get a lap or two out of the wets until the truck
as you guys can.
But it's more about the fact of all the track position he's lost from the drivers that pit the lap before. So this is a disaster for the 26 crew. You see drivers peeling in that didn't come in last time.
Guess who didn't? Guess who didn't? Lundgaard stayed out. Here's Palou, Kevin.
And he's very much back in the mix. He'd already cycled up to second, but was going to need some help, a lot of help, to be able to get it done on one more stop. But now he's very much back in play, and he's going to win this race up pit road, Marty.
Colton Herta leads on the rain tires. He's excellent in the rain, but even this is too much for him to handle on the slicks. And yes, there are cars that have stayed out not on rain tires, but I know among them Christian Lundgaard, who is leading this group, is coming down next time. It's just too much right now for slicks.
Yeah, saw the 45 Hy-Vee crew at RLL.
Stay out, man. Let's see where this goes.
I like it.
Yeah, okay.
I like it. Christian Lundgaard.
There you go, the driver overruling. Finally, Hinch and Townsend, you get your way.
I think that could be the winning move. If he can hang on, if they don't throw the green right away, this track's going to dry up and Lundgaard can stay out. If he can hang on to his race car, why not gamble?
Alex Rossi comes in.
Yeah, making that call to go to dries as we get ready to go green.
These guys at the front are going to be like dogs running on a polished wooden floor, trying to get traction. It's going to be crazy. Here we go, back straight, back to green with a mix of wet and dry weather tires, and Kyle Kirkwood takes the fight to Christian Lundgaard. How's this turn 3 going to shape up? More so, the exit. What's the exit of this turn going to be like? Power on the inside. Oh, and hits VK.
I think Power almost got backwards. VK is the one that turns around. Question is, did he stall?
His failure to pack up penalty is about to become an avoidable contact penalty, but this again plays into the hands of the drivers that stayed out on slicks.
This is how it went down from Will Power's point of view.
They go 3 wide, Power up the inside. Actually, initially I thought that was Power's fault, but Rinus VK came arcing across the bow of Power, so I don't put that on Power at all. In fact, VK with avoidable contact, I believe, in that scenario.
Well, here's the thing. VK thought he was just having to clear the one car of the Juncos Hollinger. Then the 12 came in there, so it makes it tough. But Marty, some leaders on pit road.
Among them, Colton Herta going to go to the alternate tires now. It's completely stopped raining. Christian Lugard also coming down pit road to take on some tires as well, Kevin.
Alex Palou debated it until the very last moment. He gets off of the wet Firestones back onto the primaries.
Oh
He's second up
no!
pit lane.
Oh no! Joseph Newgarden ran over the wheel gun, and it threw him into the wall. One of the pit crew members was scrambling. Christian Lundgaard also had a moment in his pit box when he hit a wheel.
I believe I saw Joseph Newgarden's inside front tire changer, Caitlin Brown, right there with the blonde hair. I think she went down. Nice to see that at least she's up and appears to be all right.
Watch this, we'll show you a replay. Watch the hose and the gun. So here's Lundgaard first, and he hits the tire of the front right changer. Didn't hit the changer, but hit the tire. It's Newgarden in that box behind that you're watching on his release.
It's so slick down here in pit lane, guys, when it's wet. This concrete section, almost no grip at all. So we're seeing now the two getting serviced, and they just didn't get the gun back fast enough. Look at how quick the reaction was.
Oh,
my goodness.
So close for the high V members there.
All right, here we go. Back straight, Kyle Kirkwood in the AutoNation Honda leads Scott Dixon in the PNC Bank Honda. Then Marcus Ericsson and Romain Grosjean. They are all on the same strategy. They all pitted the last time. Here, popping out of the draft, Alexander Rossi into turn 3.
Now it may have stopped raining, but it's still slick. The track will have lost a bit of grip, will have cooled down, but Rossi making the outside work in turn 3 on Grosjean. Now Palou looking on the inside of Tristan Vautier.
There's the Gainbridge Honda of Colton Herta, the yellow, white, and black car on the inside of Palou, and then takes himself out of it. Oh my goodness, almost hit Vautier. That's frustration boiling over.
I don't think Colton Herta needed to do that. As fast as his race car was, he didn't have front tire temperature. He just paid a huge penalty. It goes from bad to worse.
As we get ready to go back racing, green flag. Green. Here we go, back straight, let's go.
Nice jump from Kirkwood as the green flag waves. Dixon in line, Ericsson behind that, but you called it, Diff. Alex Rossi, that orange and white McLaren, looking to line up the 28.
Goes to the outside of Marcus Ericsson. It's the long way round. Ericsson drives him a little long. Oh, big contact. Lundgaard and Grosjean smash each other in turn 3.
Lundgaard's pinning Grosjean.
Okay, but I need to restart the quick.
Oh, Lundgaard trying to reverse off the pin move.
Restart me, please.
Grosjean is dead stick. Marcus Armstrong there waving his hand around. He's needing a refire, but look, it was Lundgaard trying to do the same move he did on that first lap.
Let's go back racing. Cross your fingers, folks. We want to get through that first hairpin, which is turn 3, all cleanly. Alexander Rossi is lining up Marcus Ericsson again. Watch the cars second and third. Rossi likes that outside line, but Ericsson's going to make him wait for it. Inside goes Rosenquist. There's another collision. Théo Pourchaire couldn't get that car pulled up fast enough. Another collision, but not a caution.
Oh, the Juncos Hollinger driver of Canapino shoves it right back in there.
Stingray Robb nearly collecting the back of Scott Dixon in the number 9. It's still chaos out here.
You can see that front wing damage too on the green and blue car at Graham Rahal from earlier in this race. That thing's starting to really flop around.
Just got word from race control. Joseph Newgarden, the Indy 500 champ, drive-through penalty for that pit box infraction. And that moment, that was pretty scary. So drive-through for Newgarden.
Yeah, no surprise there. I wouldn't be surprised also if race control was taking a look at Marcus Ericsson for moving in the brake zone there, closing the door on Alex Rossi. You see 2 Team Penske cars doing drive-through. Will Power on the lower right-hand side getting one as well.
They're handing out the penalties just like the cautions. The 45 High V Honda, Christian Lundgaard, avoidable contact, stop and go penalty. As Rossi defends from Palou. Pato Award is in the mix. Rosenquist, Fittipaldi, Pourchaire lost some positions. Canapino still in the top 10.
Even with that contact on the restart in turn 3, Canapino holding on to it. Théo Pourchaire, I'm surprised they're maybe not asking him to give that position back. Here it is, on board with the number 6, just in way too hot, gets into the back of one of the Meyer Shank entries.
Hinch, how tough are these IndyCar Delar chassis? I mean, we've seen some monster bowling ball-like contacts here, and yet Parcher will probably have a penalty almost certainly, but the race car still seems all right. It's crazy. Stingray Robb into the tires. Caution.
Scott Dixon rubbing his hands together. Oh, the caution's come out, but the car's still running. He's getting it backed up.
Yeah, but there's no taking back a full course caution. Once it's out, the procedure starts. Stingray looks to have stalled it there on the reverse move. Let's see what happened.
On board with Scott McLaughlin in the Gallagher Chevy.
Scotty Mac's going to go for it.
It'll be, I don't know if that's going to be a penalty or not. He got pretty far up alongside, wouldn't you say?
He did. He came from a bit back, but who knows? It could be a trifecta for Team Penske with driver penalties.
The race comes to pit road, Dylan.
And the original plan for the 27 of Kirkwood was to end this race on the green tires, but discussion between Brian Herta and the driver Kyle Kirkwood have them going to scuffed primaries to end this one. Shell fuel and 4 tires, Marty.
Bottom left of your screen, Alexander Rossi comes in third. They actually have a set of sticker alternates in the pit stall, but they decide to go with scuffed primary tires in the race off a drag race between Alex Palou and Alexander Rossi. I believe Palou jumped Rossi here on pit road. Palou will go from 4th to 2nd of those who pitted.
Green to go. Colton Herta's 20th and 1 lap down. So look for that Gainbridge Honda to try and get by Scott Dixon as quickly as he can, if he can. Dixon's not hanging about though.
No, but Dixon's going to have to go into fuel save mode pretty soon here. Colton Herta, on the other hand, is going to try to make some moves, get that lap back, and hope for a yellow.
Oh, around goes Joseph Newgarden. Spins and blocks the track for Alex Palou.
Championship leader stopped on the racetrack. The caution is out once again.
Let's go. And Colton Herta gets another chance to try and unlap himself. Very quickly on the inside was Kyle Kirkwood. See that pink and white and black car on the right? 5 cars back. He's already cleared Tristan Vautier. And Ericsson, his teammates behind him. And then Alexander Rossi.
Linus Lundqvist is the next. Oh!
Good work from Alex Rossi there to avoid Ericsson. He had to switch one side to the other.
Side by side now into 4, advantage to Ericsson. Let's see if Rossi wants to be brave down the hill into turn 5. We've seen it go wrong here before today. Kept in line, but still all over the back of the Andretti Global driver.
Hey guys, massive success. We've gone through turns 3 and 5 with no incidents.
Let's celebrate.
Let's go!
Hold your breath, guys, because here comes Kyle Kirkwood up the inside of the lap car of Linus Lundqvist, who's putting up a huge fight.
They bang wheels, but no worries. Through turn 9, a lap is completed under green flag conditions. This is good stuff. How about Marcus Armstrong in that orange route car? There he is at the back there climbing the hill. The young Kiwi is driving brilliantly and is on target for his career best result.
So now we wonder, does Dixon need to save? Let's listen. Not much.
It's a little, it's not
Hinch,
much.
Again, I'm going to wonder, are they racing for a splash here? He's already put 3.5 seconds in 1 lap on Kirkwood.
Marcus Ericsson, this is how he got by his teammate Kyle Kirkwood. Kyle couldn't fight it, didn't fight it.
That was unusual.
Yeah, it's almost like Kyle kind of saw him coming and wasn't sure he was going to make the corner and decided to just open him up and not risk the contact. But guys, Ericsson's been one of the fastest cars on the racetrack, been in the top 3 quickest cars for the last handful of laps. You can see the gap that he has pulled already.
Tell you what, he's not that far behind Marcus Armstrong. He's not going to hang on just for third. He may get second. He might want the win. All right, here we go. Look at this. Is Ericsson closer? Can he do anything about Marcus Armstrong? Armstrong will defend on the inside. Marcus goes wide.
We've seen some great defensive driving from Armstrong already in turn 3. He knows how to keep Andretti Global cars behind him. He did it to Kyle Kirkwood for a number of laps. He's only got to hang on 3 more times through that 3rd turn to bring home that 2nd place.
And the best IndyCar finish of his career by far.
Oh, yeah. Well, if he gets there, he's certainly earned it, hasn't he? This way, being pressured by Marcus Ericsson all the way to the flag as the laps are running out. This time by for Scott Dixon. They'll let him know.
3 laps to go, 3 laps to go here.
Exactly that.
Here it was a struggle for Ericsson to get on power coming off of turn 9. Those Firestones really starting to struggle late in this race.
By the way, we've been consumed by this. In the background, Christian Lundgaard has had a phenomenal drive to claw his way back to 5th. Are you kidding?
He was stuck on top of another race car at about half distance. It pinned down Roman Grosjean, was able to reverse off, and now he's battling forward. That's Alexander Rossi in front of him.
Kirkwood's the next one on his list.
Excuse me.
This is Power.
Lundgaard in front of Rossi. This is the red car of Will Power.
So folks, let's just set something up for you at the head of this field. Scott Dixon is ahead of these two here, Marcus Armstrong and Marcus Ericsson. There's Dixon, and he'll now be told there are just 2 laps to go. In the history of IndyCar racing, AJ Foyt has the most wins and the most championships. Well, if Dixon can hang on for 2 more laps, he's going to be within 9 wins of tying AJ Foyt. However, in the bigger picture, Scott Dixon takes the championship lead, and he is trying to get a 7th title. Who has 7 titles?
Oh, here comes the
AJ
lunge.
Foyt. Here's Ericsson on the inside for 2nd. The 2 Marcuses, but it's Ericsson in front.
Really nice pass from Marcus Ericsson from way back. Same move he put on his teammate Kyle Kirkwood, but I'll go back to the pass that Scott Dixon made on Colton Herta to get ahead, to get away from Ericsson. It might just be enough, but Ericsson now with clean air. It'll be 1 lap to go at the line, and Ericsson will be pushing with everything he's got.
Under 2 miles, I don't think there's time to close down a 2-second gap. Great drive from Marcus Ericsson to get himself into this position, but Dixon has taken the white flag.
1.6 miles to go. Ericsson's got, what, 11 seconds of push to pass left. Dixon, the fuel-saving master, the race-winning master, is so close to becoming this season's first multi-time winner. He won on the famed streets of Long Beach. And here on the streets of Detroit, Scott Dixon, just that calm voice of Mike Hull on the radio, the managing director of Chip Ganassi Racing, the way that they can just tiptoe through the chaos and stick to their plan.
And the confidence in the numbers, knowing the fuel that they have, knowing the fuel their driver is able to achieve while maintaining pace, just like Long Beach. He appears to have done it again.
And the 43-year-old New Zealander in a couple of weeks will be racing at the biggest sports car race in the world at the 24 Hours of Le Mans. But right here in the Motor City, Scott Dixon and Chip Ganassi Racing win. They spoil the GM party.
Remember where victory lane is.
Remember where victory lane is. Scott Dixon knows that more than anybody in the modern era on how to get to victory lane. Dixon does it again.
Scott Dixon climbs out. We're kind of running out of superlatives for Dixon with another masterful save. He survived the cautions and the chaos today here in Detroit. Mike Hull, who called him to that win. Hey, Scott, I mean, did this one feel more improbable than Long Beach to you?
You never know. You know, I think I made the comment on the radio. I'm like, at about lap 50, I said, I think we can make it on, you know, no more stops from this point if we do one now. Obviously, we didn't go that risky, but the team called it perfectly. We were on the right strategy. Huge congrats to everybody at PNC Bank number 9. Honda did a superb job as always. A lot of fun driving my Honda out there. And we won, man. How cool is that?
Yeah, well, you said this one was cool. What made this one so special?
It's just always the variables, you know, trying to stay out of trouble, trying to keep the car, you know, on track. We had rain, you know, it was all over the spot. all over the shop out there, and you know, you're just never really sure how the transitions are going to fall, or even the strategy. So stoked for everybody on the team. That was cool.
The numbers keep racking up. You are now 9 wins from AJ Foyt, and also now the championship leader. Does the attention immediately turn to the pursuit of that 7th title?
For sure. I think it always is. Until you're out of it, you're going to keep chasing it. So again, you know, it's a team effort. Nobody, no one single person does it by themselves. Got to say hi to Emma and the kids back in England at the moment too, and everybody New Zealand. So thank you, man. Thank you.
Up next, it's the Expel Grand Prix at Road America, Sunday, June 9th. Watch it at 3:30 p.m. on NBC.